Take a family see the trail ride we on while we talk about MVIS, and you can just pick my brain.
All right.
Because you know I dropped 2 videos today.
You dropped 2 videos on MVIS?
I dressed back to back, man. Back to back, man.
All right. So what did you talk about in these videos, Chris?
Well, what I wanted to talk about is, you know, you remember back in April when we got all that friction from a lot of your MVIS fans about our bearish sentiment?
I do remember that.
Well, now we're bullish. You know why? Because they fell
exactly
down
why.
our sweet spot.
Yes.
And I did a video about how I felt like it was an acquisition target. And then I did another video about how I felt like I figured out why they actually in Germany.
Why are they in Germany, Chris?
You know, how deep you want to go in it, man? Well, you just need to watch the road, man. Oh my God.
I'm watching the road. We got all day.
We put a price target out. We were bearish on at those levels.
What was the price at the time, Chris?
You know, when I said these guys were, you know, anywhere from $4 to $6, they were trading at over $20 a share.
Yeah, people were hating hard.
And we got raked hard, but now I am ready to listen to buyouts, takeover, acquisition targets. I'm ready for that dialogue now because of, you know, they're coming back down to earth. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, don't want to know the truth, but we put this out there in April, so now I'm back. I'm getting kind of bullish. I feel like I'll take a flyer on them if they follow my sweet spot.
And how did it get there, Chris? Is it by luck, by chance?
Some people just were in for the wrong reasons. They were listening to the wrong people, and maybe they gave up. Maybe they took a loss, covered a position, and moved on. But it's definitely not, you know, not because of Omicron or, you know, whatever. I mean, this guy's been trading outside his fundamentals, so they don't really apply. None of the beta out here. You was getting a lot of questions about negative betas and you know, different things like that. I just felt like people were tired of waiting. They felt like they had other opportunities. But people who know MVIS, who cover it, you know, channels like mine, know deep down how this company is put together, when to expect cash flows, when to expect profitability. And those guys are still there, but, you know, they have very low averages. So,
and I followed MVIS for a long time, but people got mad. They didn't want to hear what I had to say about it.
We were telling the truth. And it's kind of like in any situation, whether you're at school, work, football team, whatever you do, somebody has to be the adult. So many people was pumping this stock, and it's okay to pump and do all that if you know that's what you're doing. But you have new people in MVIS actually buying in at 22, right? Buying in at 23. And, you know, we got beat up by saying that, hey, hold pattern, you know, don't do this. If you're in, sit still and wait to see what happens, because I told them back then no one was buying this company at over $20 a share. Yeah. It wasn't going to happen. Then I told them, I'm like, hey, in fact, they're worth, you know, anywhere from $4 to $6. And then I said, hey, stop spreading all of these rumors about these goggles. MVIS doesn't even make these goggles. Yeah. The manufacturing is even moved. The employees that help create that tech doesn't even work for them anymore. Yeah. They work for Microsoft.
Right.
Sumit Sharma himself has said on numerous occasions that they're not even exploring that anymore. Microsoft wrote a check for $10 million that's sitting on their books as a liability they haven't even exhausted. So until something happens, you know, just hold still. What are you waiting on? So Sumit Sharma, Steve Holt went in, cashed out, and I just think that was a little bit, you know, a sour thing to do. Perfectly legal, but I just think it's a slap in the face. I mean, they ran, they got called out. I made a video on it, and some of the people say, oh, you hate these guys. No, I'm upset. You should be too. I think where a lot of people missing the point with us, Pat, is how many people did we save from buying in at 24?
Hopefully a lot.
So,
I remember the comments. Do you remember the comments section?
I remember. And now we're back to say we're bullish because guess what? Like I, you know, alluded to in a different video on your channel, sooner or later, the chickens will come home to roost. The chickens on the roost. And now I'm ready to buy in. They only have like, you know, less than $1 to go before I am in. And I want to, it's a speculative play. Sumit Sharma has gone on record and said it's going to be 4 years before we have any meaningful profits. But if I say it, I'm bearish. But if he says
it's cool.
He's the king. So you gotta pick one of the other. You can't have it both ways. So I think about getting in, man. I mean, these guys drop a little bit lower, they're gonna get my sweet spot. I'm on board. I just wasn't on board for $25. That's all. That's all we were saying.
So based on your fundamental analysis, where do you plan on?
Back in April, I had these guys at anywhere from $4 to $6, $4.26 to be exact.
Okay.
But anywhere, good state of the world, and they have experience good state of the world. So anywhere from $4 to $6 a share.
Okay.
But no more than that. We're going to have to see some profits, and that's just the fact of the matter. I mean, if you want to, buy these guys for a short squeeze, that's fine. Know you're in a short squeeze. The apes know, you cover AMC, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so every ape know they're in a short squeeze. Every ape is not waiting on the quarterly report. Right. They're not waiting on sales. They're not applauding record-breaking earnings. We are here for the short squeeze and damn fundamentals. Yeah. That's a good movement I can get behind. Do not get in MicroVision waiting on a short squeeze and then applauding earnings. Like you can't have one, you pick a side. You got to pick a struggle. But I like where these guys are now. I like where the price is. These guys know where they should be. They cashed in an ATM offering. I called them out on it the very next day. I got butchered for it. Steve Hope got called out on it on the following earnings call. And he's, scattered around like a scalded rat. But, just kind of lies and shady stuff that I call out. And it comes off as abrasive. But it's just frustration. And I want to see them do well. And when I feel like they're doing something not in the best interest of the shareholders, I get angry and I make comments about it. And, it's like, hey, I'm trying to protect you. Right. I am on your guys' side. I am on the shareholder side. I'm holding management accountable.
What did you say in your video today, Chris, about Germany?
Well, they have a sartorium set up for lidar standards, and I just thought it was kind of backwards, a little bit backwards, to make an A sample, get a product, boast about its superiority, and not even have a standard set in place to govern the field. But that's neither here nor there. That's water under the bridge. They're just like, hey, you should have told the shareholders there is no standard. We're going to be trailblazers. So these guys come out a couple of months ago, hired this German guy to lead the office in Germany. And lo and behold, the company that's going to, spearhead and lead the charge in creating standards for the lidar industry is in Germany. So I'm like, okay, this is why you got this guy. This is why you have an office in Germany. A lot of people was like, oh, is it Volvo? Is it Mercedes? Is it one of these European, tier ones? And I'm like, okay, I got to thinking that you don't need to be in Germany to deal with those guys. You don't have to live in Germany to have a Volvo now or a Mercedes now. So MicroVision doesn't either. So why are they there? They are there because that is where the standards will be set. So if you're coming out saying that you're best in class, you better get on the board to make the rules and the standards to make sure that your standards are the ones that's going to govern the industry, and everybody got to reach you, because if they don't, you have to go back to the shareholders and say, okay, guess what? We have 25 more patents on the books that are worthless to go along with the 100 that they already have there. So I think this is very genius for Assuming Sharma and team to get in and say, hey, they're one of three guys that's going to be on this board. Set these standards, set them as high as you can to encompass the technology that you already have, and create a moat around your profits and move forward. So that's what I'm expecting. I think it's a genius move. I like it. I'm bullish on it. I'm bullish at this price. So these guys are looking very attractive to me.
So what kind of time frame are we looking at, Chris? I mean, is this, when you say, a price target from about $4 to $6, what kind of a time frame are we looking at? How long are you looking to hold?
Well,
I mean, what should they expect?
They should expect this. So you have two forces working here, and you really need to understand this if you're going to be in the market. I don't care if you're a fundamentalist, short, long, whatever. You need to understand this. Everybody in the stock market gets a vote, and a stock can move one of two ways. It can either move fundamentally, that's from management making good decisions, management effectiveness, management know-how, management executing its strategy, and creating profits from its mainline source of business, i.e. selling lidar products. Or you can have a company that is just running up share prices on hearsay, goggles. Maybe you have Reddit people on payroll, leaking information, tearing up goggles, creating hype. Those price increases are synthetic. They're not real. You want the management to come in and create value. You do not want your value to come from me, top ticker, spot on analysis. You want it to come from financial statements. That's why fundamentalists only care about what you make and how much you sold it for. Period. We don't care about, we might get acquired, or we might this, we might that. It is, what have you done for me lately? Where's my cash? So if this stock can move, it can move fundamentally, or it can move by, short squeeze activity. People can get hype. But fundamentalists only move when the money moves. Still, they make a profit. They're going to stay right there in that $4 to $6 range. These guys could go to $50 or $60 tomorrow. But management didn't take them there. You always want to make sure management is taking you there. We can look at, I can't say that name. We can look at some CEOs. Are they there because of you guys, or are they there for them? I've always made the case and told everybody I know, the apes have done more for AMC than AMC's board of directors. Rewind that. The apes have done more for AMC than their board of directors. That's everybody. The CFO, CEO, CIO, everybody. The apes have done more for that company. And you never want to be in a situation like that and not know you in it.
Chris, you already have it all broken down on your channel, correct?
Yeah,
you have dozens of videos on MVIS.
Yeah, you can't just come in and watch one. I mean, it's cumulative. I had that professor in college that said, it's the final cumulative. He always would say life is cumulative. So you go in, man, it's 40 videos strong, and you go in, and I have some special requests off the beaten path, but I'll let them know, hey, this is a conspiracy show. You might not want to watch this one if, but this is for a special request. So,
right.
But I've always stayed true to my price target. I've never moved because the financial documents hadn't moved. I just feel bad for the retail investors because someone has to speak up for them. They don't even see this happening. So, I'm going to continue to call them out. I'm going to continue to protect retail investors that subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to continue to call BS when BS should be called.